jail.
While we were in St. Petersburg, Lynn and I got to take out a Live2Fish tandem stand-up paddleboard. I've ever seen folks do this and wondered if you could do it. I'm betting that you could. This is Lynn out here in the ocean on her very first try, and she's really loving it. Lynn and I rented this board to see if we really wanted one. Today's winds were up to 20 miles an hour, and even though it was rough, it was still a lot of fun, and we both felt pretty comfortable. So let's go back to the beginning. If it's going to work, I needed to be able to load it up on the car. There it is. I also needed to be able to get the straps off and get it off by myself, and it looks like that's working. And then I needed to be able to load it back off the car and onto the ground without busting it or scratching it or tearing it up. I'm no strong guy, but I was able to do it as well. See here, you just lay it down, then later you drop one in, pick up the other end, and drop the whole thing on the pavement, which I did not do. Like a beautiful day in St. Petersburg that day, wasn't it? And here we are carrying it out to the ocean. I don't think I'd want to do that by myself without a cart, but with Lynn helping me, it wasn't that difficult.
Yeah, it's fine.
We put it down, and as our buddies from Canada would say, Bob's your uncle, it's time to go.
So there's Lynn out there doing something she's been wanting to do for the last 3 years. She's doing stand-up paddleboarding on a Live2Fish catamaran paddleboard. Looks like she's having fun. I'm gonna do that in a little bit too. Uh-oh, she's standing up. This might... That is awesome! That is awesome! Yeah, that's a lot of pressure on me now, because if I fall, she's never gonna let me live that down. I'm so happy. You have fun, sweetheart.
So Lynn stayed out for about 15 minutes on her first paddle, and here she is coming back in. That looked like fun, so now it's my turn to do this. After a few minutes of being out there, I felt brave enough to rise up onto my knees. That was kind of an adventure. You see, I'm not the most graceful little bird in the sky for sure. But I was able to do it. Maybe on a regular stand-up paddleboard I may have fallen here, but this tandem board's really, really secure and stable out on the water. The view is awesome too. Sorry about the water on the lens. I think I got that going out. Well, I stayed out about 15 minutes as well, and it's an upper body workout, and I was ready to come in. That didn't go as well as I hoped it would. I'm not much of a surfer, I can tell you that.
I think I like this. It's a workout.
That was me almost going in.
Whoa, baby! Son of a donkey! Yeah, that was fun though.
Here's what it looked like from Lynn's perspective. Yep. See, I told you, I'm not very graceful.
Son of a donkey!
Yeah, the waves get you a little bit.
The next thing we wanted to try out was to see if we could both safely ride on it at the same time.
Not moving at all is a, let's see. We're doing worse than not moving at all. We're going backwards. Let me see if I can duck paddle this too. I'm gonna get on my knees.
As you can see, after just a few hours, I was feeling pretty comfortable on it by now.
I think you're getting ready to go under the water here. I need to back up a little bit. Take us some progress. Sitting on. No, I got it. I see you sitting.
I don't think you could do that on a paddleboard that was not a tandem paddleboard.
be moaning and groaning this friggin' video.
It is a workout, that's for sure. We had to trade off every now and then. You can see coming up, and Lynn got pretty comfortable riding on it as well. She even turned around.
Everybody will like getting to see. Everybody will like getting to see your smile. One of us is going in.
The next thing on our list of things to try out is to see if you could get back on the board if you went overboard while out in the ocean. Lynn's going to try that now.
Think we're going in?
I don't know. It all depends. If we do this at exactly the same time, we're not. You're going to push off and go, and I'm going to push down. Not going. Now you're going to try to get back up here? Okay, let me get right in the middle. You're going to grab this? I think you probably should. That's pretty impressive there. That's really impressive. Way to go.
Alright, take us back.
You're something. That's awesome right there.
It's good to know that.
I know, even with somebody already on it.
So wow, that thing's really, really stable. Even trying to get back on it like that. Just a few more things to try out, and we just enjoyed the view for a long time.
Darks. Yeah.
I'm not the strongest guy in the world, but as you can see, it's not that hard to paddle. We're quite a ways offshore, and we're in 15 to 20 mile an hour winds that day. And it wasn't the best day to do this, but we really enjoyed it out in the ocean. The next thing to figure out is how will this thing fish in the bayou. I couldn't wait to try that out. So here I am walking around. Going to pick up our little pup dog Maggie, put her on the boat. She loves boats. She took to it pretty quickly, and here I am standing on it. Hindsight being 20/20, that wasn't the wisest thing to do, to try to stand on that thing right beside the dock, but we're off.
Bye, Maggie.
Come back here. Right here. That way I won't get you. Okay. First cast on the Live2Fish. Be very great if we caught a fish on the very first cast. But we're not going to, Maggie.
Maggie hopped up and ran to the bow of the boat. It's still really stable. She just wanted me to catch a fish. And then she sees her mom coming in, and she's pretty excited about that.
Who have you got?
What you think? You liked it?
It's your Maggie mobile, Mama.
And then we finally catch a snook, and she dives off the board into the water. She found that to be a lot easier to dive in off of instead of out of a kayak. It's just right next to the water. She did that maybe 20 times the rest of the day. You can see from the flag how hard the wind was blowing today too. It was a rough day out there, but we really enjoyed it. This thing will catch fish, that's for sure. If you've watched Maggie go fishing with me before, then you know she loves to dive in. I finally caught another ladyfish, and she went crazy. Just watch this.
That ain't right. She about did a flip. That ain't right, Daddy. That ain't right. Fish are wearing a pup dog out. What is that? Come over here, Maggie. I'll get you. Maggie.
But as you can see, Maggie wanted the fish. She wasn't going anywhere.
Wait a minute.
Another thing we wanted to check out was whether I could get Maggie safely back up onto the board or not.
Hey, Daddy.
The Live to Fish is really, really stable.
Whoa!
Lord. No, don't do that. Whoop, it's gone.
Oh, Maggie.
Hey, bud. Hey. You get a new toy?
So that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. So what did you think of it?
I loved it. I loved it.
What was your favorite part?
I thought it was really easy to get on it, really easy to stand up, very, very stable.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Especially whenever you got off the board in the ocean and got back up there. That really was kind of cool.
That
Wasn't
was
it?
very cool.
That was
very
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
So what did you think about it with Maggie in the bayou? Looked like she did pretty good, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. She liked it a lot. There's lots of places for her to walk around, and she really enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I did too.
How about you? What did you think?
In the ocean, it was a lot of fun, but on the bayou, I had a hard time keeping it in place to do the fishing that I wanted to do. But it was blowing the wind 15 to 20 to 25 miles an hour in the tops that day, so that was pretty strong wind to have that thing out there. The guy advised us not to go out in the ocean or to keep it in some smaller water, but we don't ever listen, do we? It was fun though.
It was.
I don't know. I'm betting that you probably would rather have your kayak.
Definitely. I love my kayak.
You love your kayak. We've got a Hurricane kayak that's really, really lightweight. This thing, the paddleboard weighs about, what, 90 pounds or so?
And it was really easy to carry down to the beach.
For two of us. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'd want to carry it with one.
Yeah, you'd probably have to have some
it
kind of
would
assistance.
some kind of cart or something. Maggie would have to put part of it on her shoulder or something. Speaking of Maggie, there's Maggie. What are you doing, Mag?
She's been rolling in the...
She looks pretty, doesn't she?
grass.
Hey, Maggie. Hey. So you just want to keep your kayak?
I would think so.
Yeah.
And when it was a lot of fun, and it was an experience that we both enjoyed
It
a lot.
was a lot of fun.
Going out together, and
It was.
You know, it's big enough for both of us, and
I couldn't believe you stood up right away when you first went out. That was pretty cool.
yeah, it was
I was
very
pretty
easy.
proud of you doing that. It was pretty easy to do that.
But
We figured that out later, that it was just really easy to stand up and do that.
Yeah, but I think it's probably a lot easier on that wide
Yeah.
paddleboard than it would be on like a regular paddleboard.
So I guess then the question would be, going back, right now I already have a Ginu, a pretty good stable little boat, and you guys have seen me out fishing on that with Maggie. As we travel more, I'm not going to be able to take the Ginu, so we're trying to find something that'll work for us to play on and also for me to fish on. And no, I don't think, as long as Maggie gets to go, that's right. But I'm not sure that one would actually fit the bill for everything with us going forward about being able to fish on it at least. What do you think?
I think it seemed like you were having a hard time. I don't know what it would be like if you put a trolling motor on it, or I mean, I know there's a lot of accessories that you can actually use on it, but
Yeah, you're right. But if we add accessories, we're getting way up there in upper $2,000 range, which puts it back in the price range of getting a native Propel or one of the Hobies. So I'm gonna have a lot of thinking to do. 90 pounds is pretty heavy for me to yank on and off the car, and if we're going to put it on and off the RV, that might be pretty heavy too. I'm not sure it'll work, but overall though, it was fun. I know we'll rent another one when we go back. Maybe one of these days we'll buy one too, just to play with. If you're thinking about fishing on it, and I don't think you have to worry about standing up on it or being able to cast on it. I was literally, the first day of using it, able to walk from one end of it to the other, both sides, with our dog Maggie on it. She was just as happy. She was stable and secure, and I think she actually liked it better because she could just dive right off into the water, and she did that a lot. But so there's my review of it. I loved it. I'm not sure it's something I'll buy for our arsenal, but I think that it probably fits a lot of people. There are a lot of guys out there that like to fish. The advantage of using a stand-up paddleboard when you're fishing is you're up a little higher, so you can see down into the water a little bit better. I think the disadvantage is you've got that paddle in your hand, and you've got to do something with that before you cast. And when you catch something that's pulling you into mangroves or something, or into oysters, you've got to do something about that too. I guess I'm a little spoiled because with the Ginu, I don't have to worry about that, and with the native Propel, I didn't have to worry about that either. So I think you're right. I think I'll probably either get something pretty lightweight and put a trolling motor on it, or get another native Propel or something like that. But we had fun though, didn't we?
We did.
It was a lot of fun. She's been wanting to do that for 3 years. Every year we've been down for the last 3 years, she's wanted to go do a stand-up paddleboard. Was it as much fun as you thought it would be?
Oh yeah, yeah, probably more.
Cool.
It was
for me.
easier than I thought it was going to be.
It was?
Yes,
That's cool.
a lot easier.
All right. Here we are, our travel and fishing adventures. This is Owen and Lynn and Maggie.
Say bye, Maggie.
And we're signing off for now. Catch us down the road.